you know, my little sister and I just were trucking on through, and my dad passed away, and suddenly you don't have a father, and I'm not eligible for Social Security anymore, and, you know, we don't have money for school.
The expense of college in general is kind of mind-blowing, and you don't really expect it.
I think that a lot of people aren't able to go to college mainly because of the expense.
When I was in college, I was always working at least one job. And around junior year of college, my dad was diagnosed with a brain tumor, the worst kind.
You don't know what to do or where to turn, and it was a very difficult situation.
A high school education is just not enough to get the job that you want.
Can we afford to create a generation of young people deprived of educational opportunity? Can we guess who among them might discover a new life-saving vaccine, usher in the next generation of software, or uncover a key resource for the world's energy needs? Like this man, Patrick F. Taylor, who went from penniless teenager to billionaire oil man. But Pat Taylor was quick to acknowledge the key contribution to his own success: being able to attend LSU's School of Petroleum Engineering tuition-free.
I get to the bursar's cage, and I had a bill for $205, but I didn't have $205. And I told that lady that, and she fills out a slip of paper, and she says, "Sign here." Well, I'd been on my own for several years. I mean, you know, I had to know what I was signing. And I asked her what it was. And she says, "It's a deferred payment." And I went to school.
With his petroleum engineering degree in hand, Taylor learned the ropes under Texas oil man John Mecum Sr. In 1979, he formed the Taylor Energy Company in New Orleans, which grew to become the largest private-owned independent oil company operating in the Gulf of Mexico. In 1988, Pat Taylor's deep sense of gratitude to the people of Louisiana surfaced in an extraordinary way. While delivering a speech to 183 underachieving inner-city students at New Orleans Livingston Middle School, Taylor suddenly departed from his prepared remarks and made his audience a stunning offer. If they would stay in school, keep their grades up, and stay out of trouble, he would personally make sure they had the money for college.
I absolutely remember being a younger reporter back in the 80s and going out to cover a story at Livingston School. Pat Taylor was there in all of his Texas style and charm, and he was hell-bent on giving these kids an option. And it was real simple. You do well, and I'll make sure you get to college.
In the end, 1/4 of those youngsters, none of whom had been considered college prospects, did go to college with Taylor's financial support. From that point on, Pat Taylor was on a mission. In 1989, he convinced the Louisiana legislature to make state colleges and universities tuition-free for low-income students that met college entrance standards, and a few years later, to make state schools tuition-free for all qualified Louisiana students.
Well, down in Louisiana, there's a man by the name of Pat Taylor. He thinks he knows how to motivate America's young to stay in school, to work hard at it, to learn, to excel.
How y'all been? You've been working hard. It's been a long time, huh?
A 60-minute story brought the Taylor plan to national attention, drawing inquiries from all over the country. Taylor launched a one-man nationwide campaign to win approval of similar programs in other states. His remarkable commitment convinced more than 20 state legislatures to adopt some version of the Taylor Plan. And while those versions vary in their details, they all lay the groundwork for high school students to achieve their goals by motivating them to earn a state-funded, merit-based opportunity to further their education. When Pat Taylor died suddenly in 2004, the reins of his oil exploration and production company passed to his wife, Phyllis, and with it, through the Patrick F. Taylor Foundation, his commitment to higher education for every qualified young American.
At Patrick's death, he charged me with the maintaining of his legacy. And certainly, while Taylor Energy is a part of that legacy, to his mind and to mine, the Taylor Plan is even more so. So as I move forward with the Patrick F. Taylor Foundation, supported by a great staff and a wonderful board of directors, our focus will be to see that that plan remains strong in Louisiana and that it continues to spread to other states.
The plan is a contract between students and state. Students can earn their college tuition in high school if they meet specific core curriculum, standardized test scores, and grade point average requirements.
Well, the Taylor Plan has certain requirements. It's not just given to everyone. So in order to meet those requirements, you have to maintain a certain GPA, and you have to get a certain score on the ACT or the SAT.
The Taylor Plan made me a stronger student in high school because it provided focus, gave me direction towards what I needed in order to go to college.
The Taylor Plan definitely made me a stronger student, both in high school and college, because it gave me an area to focus on.
Every semester it paid my tuition, every semester, and all I had to do was maintain a good grade point average. I mean, that was it.
It encourages students to stay within the state going to college, and with that they get to keep the really driven, the really intelligent students.
As a teacher, I hope that my students take advantage of TOPS because I see how much talent there is in Louisiana. And I think that TOPS and programs like that help states keep that talent.
You have an educated community, so you have an educated workforce.
I think it's beneficial to our society as a whole to keep America competitive by having educated young people.
Kids that aren't afforded a chance to get a college degree are being left behind, especially states that don't have programs such as the Taylor Plan.
It encouraged students to take harder courses in high school, increase ACT.
To be sure, there is satisfaction in the recent string of legislative victories for the Taylor Plan.
A first program that others should emulate.
But for Mrs. Taylor, as for her late husband, the genuine fulfillment comes from a much more personal source.
It's easy to look at the statistics and find strong support for the effectiveness of the plan. But for me, the truly effective way is to see the young people that come to me and say, you know, I never had an opportunity to meet your husband, but I want to thank you for making my education possible.
Now, after graduating college, I have been able to pursue and obtain the career of my desire in something that I'm passionate about.
The Taylor Plan offered me a pathway to my future.
The business community invested in me, and I was then able to come back and work for them.
I wake up every day wanting to come to school, knowing that I don't have to worry about how I'm going to make ends meet.
The Taylor Plan is a prayer answer for my family and I.
And it'd be really great if there was a lot of other states that could provide this opportunity for their students.
I don't think there's any doubt that this is good for not just the individual family, but good for the state, because we're investing in the young people who will truly be the wage earners and the professionals later on in our system, and that's a win-win for everybody involved.
Any number of people have asked me why it is that I do some of the things that I do. What a ridiculous question.